Hey, happy Sunday. It's almost the 4th of July. Went right up at Spider. Working on getting the video posted here. It should be up by now. But after cleaning up the wife's machine, and that's pretty washed out, eh? Yeah, it was just caked with mud. But I noticed that the alignment was off, so it was pulling to the right a little bit. And so what I did was I drove it in so that the handlebars are straight. You can see that we're pretty dang close to parallel on the left side tire here. When you come over to the right side, you can see the gap is a lot bigger here. So what we're doing is, it's a little tight in here because I got the bigger tires, but so you're loosening up the jam nut here on the tie rod and here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to turn this until the tire appears to be parallel, and then from there we'll roll the four-wheeler forward and back and check our progress, and then if it seems good, we'll tighten the jam nuts down, and then we'll take it for a drive down the street. I didn't notice it on the trails, probably because, you know, you're always kind of wandering all over the place depending on where it goes, and then when you get on a hard surface you really notice when it's out of alignment. So just a little maintenance stuff here that I noticed and did, so see how it goes when we're done. Okay, so as you can see, the gap's a little better. I think I went a little too far, but we'll roll the four-wheeler back and forth just to do a sanity check here in just a sec. And just so you're aware, all you really need to do is you just need to find a fixed point on the back. You could even just take a jack or something and tie the strings. I'm just using this. You just wrap it around the tire, and the goal here is to make sure you're hitting the tire and using this as a straight edge. Yes, it's not going to be perfect, but we know that this axle should be relatively square to the front. So that's the idea here. I looked in the Honda manual. I didn't really find anything in there that indicates alignment at all. So I don't know if it's going to be like it needs to be slightly towed in or towed out. And all that really means is, so when the tire's doing this or this, that's toe in, toe out. Up and down like this is camber, in and out, and then caster is the actual forward, backward movements, right? We don't have any, I don't think we have any caster adjustments on here, and there's no camber adjustments either. So if your camber's out of whack, well, you bent something. I probably bent a tie rod. I was spinning it. I didn't see that it was bent, but the littlest things can kind of throw your alignment off. So let me just roll this, and then I'm going to take it for a little rip and see how we did. I wanted to clarify a couple of things. So the reason you need to roll the four-wheeler a few feet back and forth after you make an adjustment is because when you typically do an alignment on a car, they've got bearing plates that they roll the vehicle up onto, and that allows you to make adjustments on the front end without having any like tire binding or anything like that that's going to influence. The other thing I forgot to mention too is you really want to make sure that you don't have any loose front end components. So you don't want to have any loose bearings, ball joints, tie rods. That'll throw off your measurements too. So you don't have to do this whole, you know, string thing. You can just loosen the jam nuts and drive down the road, and you can make adjustments on the fly. So you stop, turn one tie rod, turn the other, whatever. But one thing, if you're going to do that though, is you're going to want to snug up one of the jam nuts by hand. Just for ease, I just did the inner tie rods because they were easy to get to with my arm instead of having to stick my head inside the wheel well. So everything looks pretty good. I don't know if you're going to ever get everything perfect. It's a little more difficult with these bigger tires. Stock tires, it's a little easier. They're not, they don't have big lugs or anything like that. They're going to roll a little better on the pavement. But I think I'm pretty dang close. So I'm happy with this. I'm going to lock everything down. I made sure that when I rolled this into the garage after the test drive, the handlebars are where I want them. So again, this is an off-road vehicle, so it's not going to be absolutely perfect, but if you make sure, like I said, all your front end components are tight, then you should have no problems getting this really close. Don't get all bent out of shape if it veers one way or the other on the pavement. That would be a lot easier if the manufacturers published toe adjustments and you could measure from the inside of each wheel and get an understanding. Maybe there's something online, I just haven't looked. But once you get on the dirt, you're not going to notice as much, right? So get it as close as you can on the street, call it a day. Have a great weekend. Happy 4th, everybody.